CRIEnglish.com, connecting China with the world.
Japanese students join classes in a Chinese school. The event's part of a cultural exchange program designed to help youngsters from both countries understand each other better. The visiting students are from the northeast of Japan, which was hit by an earthquake, tsunami and nuclear disaster in 2011.
昨日月山中学の方たちと一緒に夕食を食べたことです。日本の漫画の話だったりとか日本の食事、伝統的な食事とかと音楽の話だったりとか、ここの生徒の方がすごい日本が好きな方で日本のことをたくさん知っていてくれたので、日本についていろんな会話をすることができました。とても仲良くなれました。
Communication's not such a problem because the Chinese kids at this school study Japanese. Long-term, organisers hope friendships made during activities like this can help strengthen links between China and Japan.
很激动，心里头内心很激动，然后因为这次地震给他们带来很大的创伤，所以但我们没有经历过，但是所以我们很同情他们，但是都是同龄人，所以我们都是朋友，很激动。
Inside, students try their hand at Chinese paper cutting and Japanese origami.
就因为这所学校，有40年开设日语的历史，有27年中日友好交流的历史，再加上北京市是我们唯一的一所以日语为第一外语的学校，咱们日本的许多的政治家、领导人和许多的学校。 都年年到学校来访问，所以在日本基础。
But there's more to this than just cultural exchange. The school exchange is a positive step forward in what has often been a stormy relationship between the two countries. Tensions reached a high point in 2010 following a dispute over the ownership of a group of islands in the East China Sea. It's an issue academics from both countries are studying closely, including here at Keio University in Tokyo.
The important thing is Japanese and Chinese public perception on each country is deteriorated by 2010. And even after that event, I think we cannot repair or restore the public good perception on each other. So I think most important thing now is how could we go forward in making better perceptions on each country.
Politics aside, the two countries are growing ever more economically intertwined. China imports more goods from Japan than anywhere else in the world, and Japan's #1 trade partner is China. It accounts for over 19% of Japan's exports and over 20% of its imports. And Ryosa Hashi from Keio University says these figures are going to grow.
By 2030, Japan will depend on China in trade about over 40%. And this means for Japan, China is one of the most important country in economy.
Ryosa Hashi says such potential means Japanese people should see China's growing economy as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat.
Japanese people should be more confident in making our country stronger without zero-sum game perception vis-a-vis China. And Chinese economy cannot be something we can stop. Actually, we Japanese economy merit a lot from the growth of China.
For all the controversy, the two countries do share many cultural links. One example is here in Sendai at Tohoku University. This is where famous Chinese writer Lu Xun studied medicine over 100 years ago. So what do Japanese students here think about China?
Even if GDP crossover to Japan, Japan send money for China. 開発資金援助ってなった。OED or such helping money. However, so I think this is good relationship that make good relationship. But in near future, such money will be disappear. So such good relationship will disappear. I think so.
I have studied Chinese for 1 year, and my Chinese teacher tells me about China a lot. So I know that China and Japan has bad relation each other because of all the history. So, but now China and Japan has very important relation about economic. So I think we should get along with each other better.
Okay, now Japan is very people suffer, I think, from earthquake. Okay, so I think the relation is important now. Japan is so puzzled. So I want China to help Japan now, I think.
Figures from the Japanese government say there are over 500,000 Chinese living in Japan. How do they feel about living in a country with such sensitive relations with their homeland? Tenten has been a Sendai resident for many years.
日本人大多数都是很友好，他就是说他会对你很好，但是有一少部分的人他会歧视中国人，或者是对我们中国人会有一些偏见，但是大部分的日本人都很好，所以说我很喜欢这里。
The political thing is really at national level. It's sensitive. There are many troubles. Sometimes there are demonstrations back in China, and people around me, the Japanese friends, will say, "Oh, it's difficult between us, the two countries." But there's nothing bad. There's no bad influence between me and my Japanese friends or anywhere like the university I'm studying in.
Back at this university, Professor Sahashi says both countries have everything to gain from closer cultural relations.
Japanese people now enjoy a lot from the cultural goods, products from South Korea. This means we can also expect a lot from Chinese culture to Japan. So I strongly believe this is very good things.
If the two countries are serious about cultural exchange, this needs to start with young people, and in a small way, back in Beijing, that's already started. Here, Japanese students who were affected by the 2011 earthquake and tsunami meet Chinese orphans from Yushu in western China's Qinghai province. They all lost their parents in a devastating earthquake that hit the region 2 years ago.
外国の人と触れ合って仲良くなったりしたいなと思う。隣の国なので、そういう交流関係で仲良くなってもっと関係が良くなればいいなと思います。
The visiting delegation was led by Japan's ex-Prime Minister Tomiichi Moriyama. He was in office during the devastating Kobe earthquake in 1995, which killed thousands. He brought with him a message of friendship.
よく言われるようにね、日中関係は子孫に至るまでね、 友好関係を実現しないか。これは日本と中国にはもう3000年からのね、この歴史がありますからね、その歴史を振り返ってみたときにね、それはやっぱりその日本が、なんて言いますかね、もう命がけでね、船に乗って、そして中国を訪問してですね、いろんなことを学んだと、ね、いうようなこともありますし、だから私はこの長い歴史の中でね、それは中国の影響を受けた日本、日本の影響を受けている中国という双方で影響し合ってですね、今日の文化が引き継がれてきているというのを思いますからね、そういう土台を考えた場合ね、それはもう4、5年なんていうんじゃなくてね、もっと長い将来に向けてね、やっぱり日中関係というものは、その友好協力関係をね、作っていくことが大事だというふうに思いますね。
Tomichi Moriyama's involvement in this event shows the importance Japan and China place on improving their relations. And, long term, it's youngsters like these that both countries are pinning their hopes on.
日本へ行きたいですね。日本に行きたい。